Now we're ready to lay down our brown highlight edging. I'll be using this small dry brush, the same one that I used on the initial orange, and I'll be using this brown color. It's like a poop colored dark brown. Well, I guess it depends on what you've been eating, but that's what we're going for. And we're going to be dry brushing that the same way, taking off as much as possible, just leaving the bare minimum amount. And almost ready here. Just want to make sure enough of it's off. And what I'm going to do is come in at an angle to where I just get the very edge of some of these. It'll be hard to see at first, but once we get a few of these down, we'll be able to see it a little better. Not be leaving enough paint to get it to pick up. Yep, I am too dry on my dry brush. So I'm just going to keep doing this in random areas, trying to stay only on the edges to give it that dried lava look. I find it increasingly difficult to do two things at once, so if I'm talking choppy, it's because I'm not really concentrating on what I'm saying. I have to look over that. God help us if I was chewing gum or something. Okay, I'm going to finish this up and then I'll be right back again. Now that the browns are done on the inside, what we need to do is go back with our red and black mix and blend out. And I say blend out, but really we're just covering up the yellow on the outermost part, and you can blend it in some areas. It's not really a wet blend because we're still dry brushing for the most part. It's just a very heavy dry brush to cover up the yellow on the outermost edge. And if there's still a little bit of yellow showing through, that's fine. But we want to try and blend our reds back into the black. Hopefully that makes sense. And again, you'll have to forgive the inability to talk and concentrate at the same time. This doesn't have to be pretty. Again, we're just trying to get our blend so when we paint in the black, it's not so stark between the blacks and the yellows. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. Now we're going to go back in. We're just going to use the same brush. Just going to wipe the red off. I'm not even going to clean it. And I'm going to get some of the brown that I used to do that last highlight mix. I'm going to mix it together on this with the same brush that I just used with the reds. And then I'm going to come in and do a heavy dry brush of that. Alright guys, hang in there, we're almost done. Our final dry brush is going to be solid black. So just grab your large dry brush, knock off as much of the paint as you can, and then go to town. Definitely want to stay on the outer edge of the brown, our last dry brush color. And I'm not real sure how good this is going to show up on video, but the brown mixing with the red should give it a purplish hue, which is good. That just adds more to our glow effect around the outside edge. Almost there. I'm trying to show you all of this step so you can see that it's okay to get some of the black on the inside where we dry brush the brown. It's just going to darken that up a little bit. Give it a more crusty feel. Crusty feel to the poop brown. That's not something you want to think about too long. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it. Now, all this encompassed was the actual lava areas and the outer kind of glow around the outside. For the actual terrain around the lava, I will go back into this area and blend it all back to a solid black, and then dry brush it up to look like the rest of the board.